Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tony Chimmel, the GOAT of ring announcers. And you're listening to the Marks Podcast on YouTube.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gerard is going to sit there and he's not going to say anything because we are not allowed to go on with any bit of the show until we play a video for you. Please understand, Gerard is holding the show hostage until we play this video. Will you please play the video?
Always the wrestlers. You're there to help them tell a story. So I'm there purely for other people. I'm never, ever the center of attention. And I don't want to be.
Disco fever, disco fever, disco fever, yeah, 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 yeah. Disco fever, disco fever.
There's a lot of people on Twitter like, I just see her all the time. She's making a lot of big faces and stuff. I'm there to help them. It's not about like what my spots are or what I want to get out of it. Like, it's not about me at all.
When he steps out on the floor, the girls are screaming.
Like, it's not about me at all.
Disco fever, disco fever, disco fever.
I'm never, ever the center of attention. And I don't want to be.
Disco fever, disco fever, yeah, 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 yeah. You wanna see him shake his booty, get down tonight and boogie, oogie, oogie, all across the country.
Like, I'm there to help them. It's not about like what my spots are or what I want to get out of it.
Standing ovation.
I'm never, ever the center of attention. And I don't want to be.
Disco fever, yeah, 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 yeah. Disco fever, disco fever.
It's a very common occurrence where people just say like, I take too much attention away from the wrestlers. I'm too distracting.
Disco fever, yeah, 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 yeah. Disco fever, disco fever, disco fever, yeah, 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 yeah. Disco fever, disco fever, disco fever, yeah, 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 yeah. Disco fever.
We happy now?
You know what's funny to me is that we've seen Jade Cargill be held back by a dozen.
I was going to say that.
And Aubrey Edwards
Aubrey Edwards just held back Jade Cargill like it was nothing. Perhaps she's in the wrong industry.
You know.
Counter to that, something that happened in TNA. If we can go to that footage now.
Well, hold on. Before we go to this, we must say, a couple weeks ago, we slammed a company for doing everything wrong. This is how you do everything right.
Esa dolió hasta el alma y por eso es que Macklin está molesto. Viene la patada. Responde ahora Macklin sobre las cuerdas. Puede venir la combinación. A venir, Fer. La patada super kick. Mira cómo queda.
So what you didn't see at the end of there is that she immediately jumps between them, throws up the X, stops Santana from going any further. Because again, I'm not putting this on Santana. He didn't know. But Macklin was out. Steve Macklin, who is a wrestler I really do enjoy, was out cold.
He was the Tweety birds were around his head. There was no doubt about it, you know. And if you haven't seen the video, if you get a chance to see it, the referee stepping in, giving the X, and I mean pushing the other wrestler off because the other wrestler was trying to continue the match. I give her all the credit in the world. She recognized it, took control of the situation, and did not allow the match to go on.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think it's also because of the fact that so many issues have come up with referees that they're on a heightened awareness now?
I think she recognized the comments because remember the way he's holding on to that rope.
He's done.
Yeah, the way he's holding on to that rope, it tells me he got knocked the hell out and the hand just did not release.
Yeah, he was stiff.
Yeah, he was out cold.
You mentioned something.
Okay, hang on, I got the whole
Yeah, she had the whole video. I've had this mic, John. It just does that. I wish it would just stay one color, but it does.
Depending on his mood, that's a mood mic, John. Depending on the mood.
I'm on mood right now.
You're purple.
Okay, watch this.
Selfish.
The
most selfish thing you could possibly do. I know. Like, my own personal feelings aside, this is not about me. How many times has Mike Santana tried to help Steve Macklin when Steve Macklin's worst enemy in this company has been Steve Macklin? The man in the mirror has killed Steve Macklin time and time again behind the scenes. I don't talk about it, and we've all tried to protect this man for the longest time. Mike Santana's going to put him in his damn place right now, and he just rocked his jaw. No denying all of that. And perhaps this is it.
Yeah, he's out cold.
Yeah, but see, okay, so he didn't engage. Look at that. You know what? Whenever you tell me about this, you made me feel as if Santana was still throwing and fighting her. He didn't fight her.
No,
He continued to do his job as a wrestler, but then he immediately goes, when she said stop, he was like, oh, okay, so this is more serious than I thought.
he didn't throw the punch. Now, and I give him credit for that. The only thing I'm saying is him right there when he goes to the guy. All I'm saying is he knows he was going to kick him. He knew what was going to happen next, and what was going to happen next didn't happen. The other guy has to take it into, hey, wait a minute, hold on. That's not what we're
Yeah, but do you know the spots? Did you know what's going to happen?
No, what I'm saying is he does know the spot.
No, I'm saying is okay. So that kick was the stop of that sequence. He was supposed to go down to that sequence, right? Okay, he didn't go down the way he was supposed to. He wasn't able to continue, and so there you have Santana. All right, and so now she's coming to look. Her job was to check on him immediately, yes. And so now the referee's coming to him, and you see this. The referee's like, she's like again, she's explaining to him, but he has to stay somewhat in character. Now you have Macklin. Who
listen, this guy is like I said to you. It's like he got hit by Mike Tyson. He's down for the 10 count. He should not continue. But I'm saying she recognized that fact. She's recognizing it now, mind you.
I'll say this. He's doing his part. Like and you can tell he's upset with himself. Look at him. Yes. He's not mad at Macklin, but he has to stay in somewhat character because this was very much a blood feud, and so he has to. You know, he's staying in character, but you can see she's relaying information to him while he's staying in character. What's
very to me right now is that where are the paramedics? Unless this guy with the headset on is the doctor. I don't know if he's the doctor.
I don't know if he's medical, but what I know is that they're checking on him. They're doing everything. That you're right. That was exactly how it's supposed to go down, right there. You made a comparison to something while we're off the air, and I think you're 100% perfectly right. Bret Hart. What if this was a Bret Hart situation, and what if Bret Hart didn't continue that match and didn't cause more damage? Would Bret Hart still have had a career?
We don't know, but it might have lessened.
He may not have had a stroke years later because
it might have lessened his. It might have extended his career and lessened his after injury.
Yeah,
and that. Listen. Now, could the event that happened a couple weeks ago bring spotlight to this? Absolutely. To where the referee, maybe TNA people, maybe even WWE, hey, you guys got to pay more attention in there.
They have a spotlight on refereeing right now. That OVW thing really affected people.
Yep. And listen, there is no negative to come out of what we just saw.
No.
Except for the match didn't finish the way it was planned. And if you got a problem with that, you need to go check yourself out.
So he was, from my understanding, he absolutely had concussion symptoms. They did the concussion protocol. The same thing happened to Adam Cole. Adam Cole hasn't been back in the ring since, he can't even fly. And it was just a normal, it was accidental. You can't take chances with this stuff. I mean, there was a time when I was growing up where people they ran each other all the time. Head trauma was the thing. So whatever. Just another day of the office. I'm glad they're taking care of it the proper way.
It's funny. The thing I say is, the boss doesn't care about it as long as he's making a buck. Where do you put human life in that?
Well, there was a time back in the day when I remember someone like Baron Corbin was basically denied his push when he had the fucking money in the bank because a certain somebody decided to get mad at him for bringing up concussion protocol.
And when you look at it, and let's go back. We can go back to Benoit. Do you screw around with it?
Who?
In this day and age, do you screw around with it? Somebody must be on break.
Oh yeah, definitely. Outside right now, it's hot as balls. It's 105 degrees right now. A little bit up from 102 yesterday. So yeah.
Oh yes, John, he is absolutely
grape juice.
He has to deal with this current referee situation.
Yeah, Gerard has to have his hands all in that.
Well, and you know what?
Look at the fade on Jacob. Look at the fade on Jacob. Looking almost like a functioning member of society.
Yeah, I know. I need to.
He still looks like he's getting his 15 minutes of yard time, though. That's the problem. The wall.
That looks amazing. Yeah. You look good, Jacob.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shrimp. But yeah,
how is Shawshank Prison?
It's great. I get 3 squares a day. I'm doing good. I get a little bit. Like I said, I get about 20 minutes time. I'm supposed to get 30 minutes because apparently I'm a union member, but they're like, no, you only get 20. I'm like, oh, I don't think that's legal. But yeah. So this situation, first of all, it's really just unfortunate for Steve Macklin because this is a guy who is probably one of my favorite guys over in.
I'm not even trying to be funny. Did Jacob lose weight too? Look at this motherfucker slim. Looking a little svelte over here. Look
at 105 degrees. You lose weight too?
Yeah, he's looking a little svelte over here. Fucking Jacob.
Yeah, no, I've definitely lost some weight, dude. My AC is all fucked up too, and I have not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 7 fans in my room currently right now. And it's unfortunate. So my AC should be.
Arizona is a choice. Remember that Arizona is a choice.
Oh yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. I'd already be in Alaska by this point.
If it makes you feel any better, Jacob, 37 degrees is the high.
Oh yeah, yeah. Fuck you. But yeah. So this situation, I just feel bad for Steve Macklin more than anyone because again, and by the way, this was 4 minutes into the match. Not even.
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
And I don't know, again, I hear the Goldberg comparison because again, if we look side by side, these kicks are pretty much identical. But I think what really fucked Macklin over more was that he was right by the ropes, and on top of getting kicked in the fucking head, he smacked his head on both ropes going down. So I can't believe he doesn't have a concussion. Supposedly the report is that he doesn't. That's insane to me if he doesn't. Yeah, it's just an unfortunate situation. But, here's the difference of something like TNA and OVW where the ref was right on top of that shit and threw up the X sign. And I don't know who that ref is. I believe her name is Alice something. But, she good on her for doing that because it fucked the main event over. But at least, from what I heard from the people who were in the audience, the crowd went home happy. So,
hey, Jacob, in a case like that, it's always okay for the referee to screw the finish over because you're taking into the health of the wrestler over the finish.
You're cutting out, Gerard, at least on my end.
I said you're taking – it's okay for the – it's on your end because you're outside. The finish of the match is the only thing that got affected. Okay?
I think my headphones suck. Hold on.
Yeah. Turn up the volume. Can you hear me now? Okay, the finish of the match was the only thing that was affected, but the wrestler's health was saved. You can always redo another finish somewhere down the road, but you can't correct somebody's health once you screwed it up. You know? Okay. Dano, Jacob, where'd you both go? But when I see stuff like that, all I can say is you can have the good, the bad, and the ugly. We started off with a comical video. We showed that. We've talked about Ohio Valley before. It's a dance. Everybody's dancing. And to have the dance partners in the correct way, that was the correct way to finish the dance. That's it. You don't want to finish it like that way, but, you know, that's the way you got to do it. What happened to him? Change location. What? He's going to go into the truck? I was going to say, what's he going to do? Go into the truck? So now we're going to have Dan from Parts Unknown? That's funny. I can't hear trips. I can. Or you're just saying you can't hear. Cubics, can you hear or you just can't hear trips? Which one is it? That, you know, you got to be a little more. Because I can hear her.
There we go. All right. Just you and me for a second.
Okay.
I guess.
I can hear you.
What do you want to talk about? What should we talk about? I hear Femi's the future. Go.
Well, listen, okay. What I saw this week and what I saw, like, you know, with what we saw last night. Hey, before you go, Jelly Roll Jr.
You love Jelly Roll.
That's what he looks like. He looks like that. Jelly Roll is going down to Jacob size.
He looks better than Jelly Roll.
Yeah, I know. Like, he's not so much jelly. He's low sugar jelly.
Zero sugar.
No. Hey, he's still jelly. He doesn't have the roll.
Yeah, he's just jelly.
Jelly.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised that Jelly Roll even had a match on SmackDown against Kit Will's son. Yeah, that was beautiful. But yeah, it sucks that I can only be on the show for a little bit because yeah, it's fucking boring. I'm here till 9 o'clock. So.
Well, but hey, think about it. By 9 o'clock, it will be what? 90 degrees?
Yeah. Yeah, by then it'll probably be like 97 probably. It's ridiculous.
Hey, I'll send you my 37. You send me the 90.
Yeah.
We're right here in the middle at 59. We're just coasting.
You know, I'll never complain about getting heat in March.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no, here it's a fucking problem. Like, it's already over 100 degrees.
Oh, Jacob, I'm sorry. It's like, a balmy.
It usually gets that hot by like June.
Listen, it's a balmy 32 degrees out right now.
God damn it! All right, well,
that is called.
I do have to dip out. I will try to pop in if I can, but I will say with this ref situation, good on the ref for hope Steve Macklin gets better soon because that's unfortunate. This guy just has bad luck after bad luck. So yeah, but I'll see you guys later. Peace on.
Good rest of your night.
Yep. Peace. Bye, Trish.
Night, Jacob.
Yeah. So I mean, it was with what I saw this week and stuff like that. Like I've said before, and I'll say it again. I'm still gonna watch WrestleMania. Is there anything that happened this week that makes me say I gotta watch WrestleMania? No. Right now, there's nothing that points out to me and say, as a fan, I gotta watch this.
It's been 2 months of no. There's nothing that makes us want to watch
That and so what are they gonna do in the next 3 weeks? that's going to say, okay, it makes me have to say, I want to watch it too. Oh, I need to watch it.
Right.
You see, look at the discounts they're giving on tickets and all that stuff. They're trying to do everything they can to get people into the building. You know,
Well, and I guess they figure cracking down on watch parties is going to fix that problem for them. So if they can't watch it on TV, they'll come in. That's not going to work either. No one cares. No one cares enough.
you're not giving me like Sami Zayn winning the U.S. title last night. Does that make you turn around and say, oh, now I got to watch what Sami Zayn's going to do at WrestleMania?
Okay, but that got leaked. So what do you think about that? The fact that they leaked that was going to be the finish. So you can't even get to the match and be surprised that
My question
leaked that out last night.
Was it purposely leaked so people would watch the show?
I can't imagine. Sami Zayn's not that dynamic. Who cares?
Correct. I think they missed out on the opportunity when Sami and Cody were going back and forth with each other.
Mm-hmm.
To where you should have had Cody in the middle of that. What the heck is this?
That's me. I had to leave the room for a bit, but keep going.
Did they ruin it by not having a Sami and Cody moment when you could have had that? Because the way they were doing their backstage vignettes, could Sami have or should Sami have done something to Cody to spice that up a little bit more?
But no, because but you have Randy and Cody. That's your story, right? I think it's not going how they want it to, because you have a Randy Orton situation here where Randy's hotter than you can't
turn him heel.
And then you have Cody, who people are like they've gotten Cody fatigue, as Trips has put it before. I don't dislike Cody. It's not to a point where we're back in the 2010s and 2015s where I like, I'm tired of seeing John Cena. But it's on its way. It's definitely on its way. And if we don't do something about it, or if they don't do something about it, they're going to have that same situation on their hands. And I don't know if they know how to fix that.
I saw something today, and I'm in agreement with it, about how Jade Cargill needs to keep the title at WrestleMania.
Why?
Where does Rhea Ripley go if she wins the title from Jade? They have to rebuild that SmackDown's women's division, because who do they have on SmackDown? I mean, we talk about Io Sky all the time. We talk about Bayley. We talk about Laya Valkyria, Ivy Nile. You have all these different people that you can move up to challenge on Raw, but what do you have on fucking SmackDown? B-Fab? My thing is, we just showed that Aubrey Edwards was able to handle Jade Cargill.
Yeah, but that's not a video that everybody's watching and their mother.
No, I'm just saying the fact of Rhea Ripley beating Jade hurts Jade Cargill in the money.
Oh, 100%.
It doesn't hurt Rhea Ripley, because then they can use that backlash. Maybe she goes back and challenges again at Backlash. I have this feeling that Jade Cargill signed her 3-year contract.
She resigned it?
No. It ends in September. Let her keep the title till SummerSlam.
Why? Why are you now on the Jade Cargill fucking train?
Hear me out. Without her having a title, do you just sit her at home?
Well, what is she going to do? Who's she going to wrestle?
That's why I'm asking you. If she loses the title, where does she go? You got to sit her at home. She keeps the title. You at least have her relevant for 3 more months.
But is it 3 months of her and Rhea Ripley? Like, that's going to get old quick too. So if you had the same question, where does Rhea go with that title? What does Jade do now? So if she beats Rhea, where else is there for her to go to? You had the same problem, regardless of who holds the belt.
But the Chase E's always seem to have a better avenue than the person who has the title. Like when Roman Reigns had it for all those times. The people chasing him became more relevant. Roman Reigns,
and I get that, but no.
Chase the belt. There was no one else. But
what I'm saying is Jade doesn't have. Okay, Jade has not defended that title for shit. Who has she really defended it against other than fucking she beat Tiffany, and then the women's title on SmackDown has become irrelevant.
Hey, here's a question for you. What if Bianca gets involved in that match?
But she's not. She's barely back to training. She's not back.
No. Doesn't mean she has to be training to get involved in the match.
So you want Bianca? They're going to build. I think that's what they're going to build to is Bianca versus fucking Rhea at SummerSlam. Ultimately, that's where I think that the plan is to go.
Because I'll tell you this right now. Remember, you still got to circle back to Royal Rumble 2 years ago when Bianca was in the ring with Jade and the crowd popped. You got to circle back around to that. And I'm saying to you, to circle back around to that, is that where the money is? Because I think Jade versus Bianca and Bianca going over is better money than Bianca versus Rhea. I just think it's better money where Bianca goes over on Jade than Bianca.
I would agree, but ultimately everybody wants to see that Bianca versus Rhea fucking match.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody wants to see Bianca versus Jade too.
I think that I think there's some closure to that, but I think Bianca goes over in that match either way because a creation by WWE will always be over in the minds of WWE. They're no different going back to the fucking Sting versus Triple H kind of shit. Do I think Sting should have won at WrestleMania? 100%. Did Triple H win? Yeah, because it was Vince's way of saying that, and I'm not saying just about Vince, but I'm saying about the WWE mindset as a whole, is going to be the WWE's mindset to crush anything that's not WWE.
But my question to you is this. Which is the more intriguing storyline, though, to follow after WrestleMania? Rhea not winning the title or Jade losing the title?
They're not going to, I really hope that they would learn their lesson that you can do the Cody thing once, where you you bring Cody back for another run after a year. As much as I love Rhea, I do. I don't think that she's got enough smoke to finish her story, if you know what I mean.
She loses, depending on how she loses, her story doesn't go anywhere.
I know that she's popular,
right?
And this is not like a male-women thing, okay? This is not a man-woman thing, but she doesn't have the popularity and the fucking heat behind her. She's already won the title before. This is just another accolade. Cody had never won the belt. This was about a family legacy thing that the McMahons would never give Cody the right or the privilege to be their champion. This is not even. It's apples and fucking. This is apples and a plunger situation. This is not even the same realm.
But I'm saying is if Rhea beats Jade, now if Jade wants to go back after Bianca, there's nothing. That's why my mindset is to where.
No, okay, so here, let me set up a fantasy booking scenario for you. Okay, Rhea beats Jade, right? That next Friday on SmackDown, she comes out there, I want my rematch, I want this, I own you, and then you hear, I'm on my own, and you have Bianca come out. You can't do that until you stop, like you set up that program.
Here's my thing, though. Because she's been out so long, it doesn't make sense because she has to get back in the ring and face somebody.
No, it does make sense because who's more qualified? A woman who had a WrestleMania main event with fucking Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks at the time. No one's going to ever question the fact that Bianca Belair does not deserve to be in the main event.
I mean, at Backlash, you have Backlash.
Okay, again, if you would do this typical thing where the backlash of it is that Rhea gets her rematch. I'm sorry, Jade gets a rematch against Rhea for losing the title. And then you have fucking B-Fab and fucking Michin show up to fucking interfere and try to cheat. And then you have Bianca show up to help Rhea. And then you tell the story of Bianca saying, I helped you, girl, but you know what I want.
Hey, here's a question for you. What if Bianca helps Jade keep the title?
Why would she do that?
I'm only asking.
You think they're going to go Bianca heel turn?
Think about it.
Bianca does not play. Look. I'm sorry, but in the world of wrestling, I would never want to see a star, and let's just say it, a genuine fucking star like Bianca Belair. And I think this is one of those times that Trips will agree with me as far as like a female wrestler situation, because we may not agree about every female wrestler, but Bianca Belair earned her fucking stripes. And where I could take you back, to when Bianca Belair was in NXT. And she faced Shayna Baszler, and I think Trips didn't like her as much then. But you see what Bianca Belair has done, and she has won over the hearts and minds of so many people. It is a night and day transition. You do not make someone like that second fiddle to anybody.
No, and that's what I'm saying to you, because it wouldn't be expected. Because
will you stop with your weird 1979, 80s booking?
I'm only saying to you like this, okay? With the shit that we've seen lately, like I said, with Sami Zayn winning last night.
That was not, and I did not agree with that at all.
And that's what I'm saying.
But I could see that leading to a Carmelo Hayes, Tripp Williams triple threat at WrestleMania.
Right, okay. Which, if that goes away, it might, that match could steal the show.
Whoop that trick.
But my thing about that is this. How many times do you run to that well to where you have the ultimate underdog?
No, okay, so you're not running to a well. They've given Sammy nowhere to go, right? So I'll ask you, Trips, like, what do you feel about Sami Zayn right now?
I don't care.
But remember last year or year before that?
I care. Okay, I cared about Sammy when Kevin Owens was still around, when there was that dynamic between the two of them and that chase when he was part of the bloodline storyline. Sami Zayn on his own, I don't care. I think it's gone on for far too long. They've never given him what he's due, and it's enough now. And that's on WWE for exhausting that.
So I'm guessing Dan's going to come out and tell you that you're not being very oozy right now.
That was the highlight of Sami Zayn.
Yes, exactly.
That was it.
That was it.
Is my screen fluttering at all?
No. You can't see it. All you got is this. I don't know what this image is of a skull.
It's the logo of the channel, sir.
The channel logo, Jesus.
Well, I can't read
the channel the channel that you're on, Jesus.
I'm just saying the fact of his best spot passed him by. Now, here's a question for you. Can Kevin Owens get involved with him? I mean, I'm just saying because
I would love nothing more than for Kevin Owens to come back.
Yes, but he just got to having fusion surgery. Okay, Jesus, hey, Gerard, will you quit pulling shit out of your ass? You know what?
No,
I say that.
Listen, I'm just saying to you is, do they know that these guys could be coming, and that's why they're building it up like this to where?
Hold on, he says that, and I'd say that Gerard could pull shit out of your ass, and watch one of these times he's actually going to be right. He's going to pull the fucking CM Punk returning to wrestling again. And I'm going to be like, fuck my life. I have to fucking say that Gerard was right.
Well, you know how many times they called Shane McMahon coming back? And when he finally came back, I said, look it, I told you he was coming back.
It only took 10 years.
Hey, listen. It was a moment where you can say, hey, I was watching it. And when that music hit, it was a great thing because you know what? We all wanted it to happen.
Still want it to happen.
Listen, like at WrestleMania, when you hear "Break the Walls Down,"
do you think we're gonna hear it?
I don't, because AEW they added more time to his contract because of being out.
But how much time did they add? And is this an unlimited time? Because I mean, think about it. It's gonna be 4.5 months. Jericho didn't miss 4.5 months when he was in AEW. I don't think he missed 4.5 weeks. Never mind 4.5 months. So I'm saying, what are they adding this time on for?
Keep him out of WrestleMania. They're trying to fuck WWE over.
In his mind, hey, in his mind, like anybody's mind, if you want me to sit at home for 5 months and pay me to sit at home for 5 months, right. Okay, whatever.
But he did just get a new trademark for the Cornerstone, which again, from the reporters I saw, that sounds more like an AEW fucking thing, because he was never the cornerstone of WWE. He was the cornerstone of AEW.
You know, it's like the other thing that came out. I read about today is, did you guys hear about this lawsuit with WWE and ESPN and all that stuff?
about the TKO acquisition and all the.
No, the new one that
There's another one. Jesus.
somebody did a class action lawsuit about how ESPN was charging $30 a month on top of the subscription to cable to get WWE. And they're saying that they were misled. Now,
Yep, looking at it.
I don't know about you guys, but you hear, hey, WWE and ESPN is going to be charging you $30 a month to subscribe to where you used to pay $10 for Peacock.
Yep.
Can somebody tell me how that is misunderstood to where now you can file a class action lawsuit against WWE and ESPN, which now ESPN is turning around and saying, wait a minute. What they're trying to say is you can't sue us because we didn't mislead you. We came out and told you the price. It's not our problem if you paid it, not understanding, because you have a chance to cancel. Where is the disconnect with the, how can I say, the morons who think this ain't right, but I'm going to order it anyway and then sue later?
Yeah, it says that the lawsuit seeks over $5 million and represents ESPN subscribers who paid extra for ESPN Unlimited between August 6th and before WrestlePalooza on September 20th. ESPN Unlimited costs $30 per month for those providers who don't include it. The case excludes customers of Hulu Plus, Live TV, Spectrum, Verizon, Fios, blah, blah, blah. They have until April 13th to respond to ESPN's motion to intervene.
And look at the person who reported it.
I saw that. I saw that.
Do we not mention his name?
Every week.
He is the epitome of the ambulance chasing attorney.
The thirstiest of all.
Oh,
yeah. Really?
Yep. I tell you, he must be in the back of every building or something like that, looking to give out cards to say, people, are you injured? Here's my card. Because I'm like, how does this guy keep doing it to where he gets all that information? And it's like, what did he have? What was the name from the Incredible Hulk there? David Banner.
Mm-hmm.
What was David Banner's real name? Oh, I know. Bill Bixby. Oh, does he
really? You gotta go Bixby's fan. That was a hell of a long walk around the road to get there, but
well, I'm just saying is this where we're at now? To where, like I said, in the wrestling community, we have ambulance chasers. Holy shit! I mean, like I said, is this where? Do you have to find the negative stories to try and bring the company down before WrestleMania? Because I'll tell you this right now, from what I'm watching, they're doing a pretty damn good job of doing it themselves.
Yeah, they don't need any help for sure.
They don't need help. Okay, you still get the story was Stripe out there, the Gremlin.
Your favorite person, yes.
I don't know where all the the boys have gone. What's that called? That's called a ring. I don't know where the rest of the boys have gone. I don't know where that story's gone. But usually this time of year, you have the cockroaches coming out of the woodwork, finding everything wrong inside the confines of TKO, World Wrestling Entertainment, and stuff like that.
Right.
Is it because they can't find the cockroaches can't find, so they go after the silly things like people saying, "Hey, I didn't really know what I was signing up for." Well, if you didn't really know what you were signing up for,
the belief, and this is speculation on my part. A guy, for the Panhandle was giving him, as he's done to other people, telling them that the grass is blue and the sky is green, and money is falling from the trees.
It's raining money. Well, from what I know, the money froze midair. And those checks have not been cashed yet. And we have an 81-year-old person. I mean, obviously, he's in the woodworks. Maybe he's hanging out with Tiger Woods. I don't know. Because
Tiger looks bad. That mugshot was terrible.
Well, I was going to say, crashing cars and stuff like that.
That's the second time he's done that.
Well, it seems like it's the billionaire's lifestyle. You crash cars and you call yourself an idiot.
But you don't get out of the car. But I didn't see Tiger on the news saying, I don't drive that car all the time.
Idiot.
Hey, maybe Tiger was cursed.
I love that Gerard is all in with Danhausen. It warms my heart so much.
But you know what's not cursed, though?
What?
All that money and 5 shirts now that he has.
He has 5 shirts now?
That's what they were joking about. The Miz goes, I've been here for 10 years, 20 years, and blah, 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 and I've not got 1 shirt. He goes, this guy gets a shirt. None of it. Goes, he's got 5, actually.
How does the Miz not have a shirt? That is kind of insulting. He has been around.
Well, no. He had the I am awesome.
Yeah.
It was like the name tag where you stick up, but that was the shirt was this says I am awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't tell me that shirt didn't make money.
That shirt sucked.
What's the matter? Did you buy it and you didn't like it?
No, that shirt is everything you are. And you have to have a name tag that says I'm awesome.
Okay, what's the problem?
Jesus Christ. Are you a follower of his 3 things? Something zone in or whatever? Is that you?
No, I'm just saying. How many times
are you like Kip Wilson? You want to be like the Miz?
No, I'm saying to you is how many times have you ever gone to like an office meeting and you have people with the name, with the little squid thing on his shirt, or rectangle with name, and says their name, but he just says, I am awesome. So
you were such a fucking Melvin, I swear.
Hey, listen. It got him over. Listen, the Miz.
See, this is it. Okay, so Trips, this is it. I've realized, like, I speak to the Roman Reigns fans of our fucking audience, the youthful one, like, this is that we believe in this, we believe we want this, we wanted this, and this is fucking CM Punk over here. This is the fucking old man who refuses to let go.
I never watched the movie Frozen, so I don't know nothing about Let It Go.
No, you just want to have the Miz argue at WrestleMania with himself with a cardboard cutout.
One day I will figure out Sora AI, and we will have the Miz wrestling a cardboard cutout of himself.
Listen, okay? You can have Ric Flair in the middle of a ring dropping elbows on a jacket.
Oh my God, yeah.
Elbows, knee drops.
Yeah, but you know what, Gerard? He didn't wrestle his jacket at WrestleMania.
Hey, let's go.
Maybe he should have. Maybe he should have. That could have paid for one more wife's alimony.
Hey,
I'm not aware.
Listen. And then you have another guy this week talking about how, I'm sorry, this is the one time I'm going to have to disagree with Paul Heyman, where he says Bobby the Brain Heenan couldn't hold him. I'm sorry, Paul Heyman. If it wasn't for guys like Bobby the Brain Heenan, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing.
Okay, so maybe you're right to say the thing is, you're going to tell me that Paul Heyman has not surpassed his mentors and people like Bobby?
What made Bobby great, okay, not just what he did with the managing of his wrestlers, arguably the #1 combo of all time on the mic, him and Gorilla Monsoon.
Yeah, and JR and fucking Paul did a damn good job down south in WCW.
I don't think they were ever better than Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Okay, but you're going to sit here and say that Paul Heyman has not done more for this business than Bobby? I love Bobby. Bobby is one of the greatest of all time. Paul Heyman is the greatest manager, and fucking not only done that, but he did backstage. Not only that, but he was a booker.
Okay. Paul Heyman hasn't had the announcing gig as long. I'm saying to you is Paul Heyman as a manager.
Paul Heyman, and I get that, okay, but you had Bobby and Gorilla. You had fucking Heyman and fucking JR down in WCW. You're going to tell me that if you had to say who was more, who affected wrestling, who influenced more wrestling than fucking, was it Bobby or was it fucking Paul? Paul did it hands down.
He might have influenced wrestling more. I'm saying to you, Bobby the Brain Heenan left more of an image on, like say, the new people today know Paul Heyman. But people from my generation on, even yours, Bobby the Brain Heenan, I don't, put it this way, somebody on commentary that even matches him today, I don't think there's ever been somebody that matched him.
Okay, so you're talking about commentary. He wasn't talking about commentary. He was talking about everything.
Correct. So the commentary alone, Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Okay, so Bobby did commentary. Yay, woo. Fantastic.
Hey, it's not, listen, if it was so easy, we wouldn't complain about some of the commentators.
I'm not arguing that. I'm not, but you're saying that Bobby. You're saying Bobby.
Tony Schiavone's in the same category as Tony.
You will not talk ill of fucking Tony Schiavone. Tony Schiavone has a lot to work with, and he has to fucking carry it by himself. All right.
Hey, is Tony Schiavone good? Is he in Bobby the Brain Heenan's class?
No one cares. Look, this is not just a. Why do you have to look? When you know you are the worst at this shit, you know that you're going to lose an argument. You'll focus on the one thing that you think can win it, the one tiny thing that's completely irrelevant to everything. Paul did not say anything about commentary. He was talking about as a manager, and yes, Paul Heyman is a better manager than Bobby the Brain Heenan.
I digress. I don't think so.
Okay, so Bobby had the Heenan family. Okay, that was good. He had the Brain Busters. He had this. Heyman had the Dangerous Alliance. He also worked with Samoa SWAT team. He also worked with the new Midnight Express. God rest the soul of
Dennis Conroy.
Dennis Conroy. I cannot believe he passed away. That just reminds me that I'm getting old. But Bobby did not manage nearly as many people. And yes, Bobby had success, but Bobby was always placed at the top of the card, and he was given guys that were already moderately successful. Paul built motherfuckers. Did he build all of them? No. Was he successful with every one of them? Let's not talk about Heidenreich. But Bobby did not have the fucking long-term success that Paul Heyman did.
The one I'm going to ask you about. Oh, next, you're going to say Ric Flair was already a main name.
Yeah.
Right? Andre the Giant, already a main name.
Mr. Perfect, already a main name.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he was coming over from AWA. Kurt Hennig was made, motherfucker. Don't give me that shit.
My question.
You tell me that Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, the former AWA champion who had his legendary battles with Nick Bockwinkel, wasn't made walking in the doors? That was Vince's gimmick. Oh. He took the best talent from regional areas and brought them to his territory.
My question to you is this. Is Mr. Perfect without Bobby Heenan, though?
Oh, God, yeah. Because Kurt could have been anything he wanted to be. Kurt was just, Kurt didn't need Bobby. He wanted Bobby.
Okay. Bobby had the largest athlete for 2 months.
Yeah.
People were glued to the TVs for 2 months to watch that athlete.
He was the largest athlete in the world. It had nothing to do with Bobby. Bobby was a great cherry on top.
He was already what's the word I'm looking for? An attraction.
He was a spectacle.
Bobby was very good at. He was very good at speaking for his guys.
And I get that, but he was only a cherry on top. Paul made motherfuckers.
Because I'm going to tell you this right now. The only difference between him and Jimmy Hart had more. Basically, I think Jimmy Hart actually managed more champions than Bobby the Brain.
Great, but Bobby was more fucking like. Bobby took up more because Bobby was louder. Bobby was he was a spectacle within a spectacle. Paul, for the entire time he was in CM Punk, didn't have to say shit. He just had to hold. He even said it. I just had to hold the belt up. When he was with Lesnar, he had to talk all the time. When he was with Roman, it was a nice combination. But tell me this, does the Roman Reigns fucking turn, does the Roman Reigns heel turn that went for 3 fucking years as the fucking Bloodline storyline get over without fucking Paul Heyman?
No.
It doesn't get over without COVID. Never mind Paul Heyman.
Fuck that. I'm talking about Paul. Does it get over without Paul Heyman?
Nope.
No,
Paul Heyman. So not only that, Paul Heyman dealt with politics, he dealt with bad booking, he dealt with fucking every avenue against him, and he dealt with a fucking pandemic.
My thing to you is always if you put them side by side and compare all the career things, I'll give you Paul did more for the business on the in-ring side. But I think Bobby the Brain Heenan, his color analyst, there's never been another one like him.
I'm not arguing that Paul was a better color analyst.
That's what I'm saying, to where for him to say he blows past Bobby the Brain Heenan and all that, no, but not in all aspects.
Okay, so you're going to tell me that 90% of the stuff that Paul Heyman was better, and that 10% was okay. Bobby got him in that one category.
No,
he blows
I'm
past
saying
him.
to you is where Bobby might have lacked in the championships on the talent pool. Paul made up for, but Paul does not hold a candle to Bobby Heenan behind the commentary desk.
No one's even arguing that. But as any kind of fucking wrestling aficionado would tell you, Paul Heyman has done more for wrestling. Okay, he also did commentary, and maybe he was a B+ to fucking Bobby's A+, but he still scored.
Well,
it's not like
the other question for you is always, and hear me out, is Paul's B+ grade based on the guys he commentated with? Because I'll tell you this right now, Bobby commentated with basically 2 guys. That's it, 2. Where Paul might have had 3 or 4, something like that.
So if Paul, hold on. If Paul was given the opportunity now and when he was at his prime, because he did an amazing job with JR both times. He did it during the fucking era where Jerry Lee King Lawler got fired. And it was an amazing back and forth. You know what? I can tell you right now, WrestleMania 17, Houston, Texas, in the fucking Astrodome. Who was it? Paul Heyman and JR, which is gone down as by far the greatest WrestleMania of all time, number 17. It's hands down, people say, the greatest show. You know who else was there that night? She's sitting in this fucking panel right now.
Yeah, it was.
She sat there, and everybody considers it to be the greatest WrestleMania ever. Who was the commentary? Because the commentary was damn good that night. Now, I'm not going to argue that Bobby did it by himself. Bobby had the Bobby Heenan show. He had the Oinkettes. Bobby did all that. And I'm not going to sit there and say that Bobby wasn't successful.
I cannot believe you just bring up the Oinket.
What I'm saying is, you put Paul Heyman in that same position, he would have been successful. You know why I know this? Because they were trying to put Paul Heyman back in the late 80s, early 90s, up against Howard Stern in New York radio, because they thought that Paul Heyman would be able to compete. And if you're going to tell me that the New York broadcasters who thought that Howard Stern was so great, but they're going to bring this New York fucking Jew who has a mouth on him and can talk shit with the best of them, can compete with fucking Howard Stern, then damn sure he could compete with Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Well, my thing when it comes to Bobby, though,
you have a style spot for Bobby. So do I.
No. He had the glitz and the glamour.
You choking up over there? Getting a little sad? Getting a little sappy? Crying?
He had the glitz and the glamour, the flashy jackets and stuff like that. He looked the part.
Look, let's be honest, okay? Bobby kind of had a Liberace vibe to him, right? Paul doesn't do that.
But that's what I'm saying, to where I'm just saying it's the old Russell versus Jordan. It's 2 different eras. One has 11 rings, one got 6.
What I'm saying, I'm going to get to that. Like, Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time, right? But people came close. Is it bad now? Is it better?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, we will sit there and say that Michael Jordan was the greatest basketball player like you could bring up Russell, you could bring up Bird, but if you're talking about consistency, when you talk about basketball, you talk about Michael Jordan.
You got 11 championships, so I mean, I don't know how much.
Hold on, but I'm saying consistently, if you bring up basketball, the name Michael Jordan comes up, right? Kind of like Hulk Hogan, right? Michael Jordan is the Hulk Hogan of basketball, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But you had people that came damn close. You had people like fucking Kobe Bryant, who I will argue is right there. He was so fucking good. He was right there at the cusp of being the next Michael because he was so competitive and it meant everything to him. And then you have your LeBrons, who you can kiss my ass. LeBron James is nowhere near the fucking MJ.
Well, it's like, I'll put it like this when I see this, okay? Let's we can do this with the NFL. Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. Peyton Manning, as much as the NFL wanted him to be the golden boy, they couldn't.
No, they love fucking Tom Brady, and I'll be the first to admit. Look, hold on. I'll admit. Now, I love Troy Aikman. I think if Troy Aikman did not have so many concussions and continued, he had the potential to be the greatest of all time because he was just where he wanted that ball to go, it would go. But Tom Brady will go down in history, in my opinion, as the greatest NFL quarterback of all time. Now, not to get on a football tangent, that is what it is. There's no denying it. Tom Brady, for his ability, his stats, any way you look at it, he is the greatest of all time because he put up the numbers. Was he weak in certain areas or whatever? Maybe, but it doesn't matter. It's semantics at this point. Tom Brady will go down in history as the greatest quarterback in the history of the game. Point blank, period.
The one thing I'm glad you bring that up because WrestleMania is going to be in his building. And,
But hold on. But what I'm saying is you're talking about Paul. You're talking about Bobby. Bobby was great. Bobby was he was the progenitor for everything. But you know who learned from Bobby and made it better? The same guy that learned from the Grand Wizard, the same guy that learned from Lou Albano, and the same guy that learned from fucking classy Freddie Blassie. The same guy that the Grand Wizard once said, you know what? That little shit Paul Heyman is going to be somebody someday. And he is.
I'm just saying my biggest question is there a chance to cancel each other out? Because one was better with the wrestlers in the ring, one was better on the mic. Okay. Is there a chance to cancel them out?
I agree with that. I think that on the mic, if you really want to make it that broad, Paul Heyman was better on the mic.
Oh God.
Look back. I really want you to think about this. Look back. Bobby had the same 3 lines. Or are you too humanoid to understand with driving around in your fucking 89 Plymouth?
I mean, you're not even giving him credit when it came to ravishing Rick Rude.
He was great. I'm not denying that. Ravishing, and I think that Bobby did an amazing job. I'm sorry, but there comes a time when you will be surpassed. Well, we talk about it all the time.
Here's a question for you, and let me ask you this: did Bobby is Bobby losing points here because the guys that he with didn't need to get built up as much as the guys that Paul Heyman had?
No, I think overall, I think Bobby was given a lot because hold on. I think you're right in the fact that yes, Bobby had guys that were pre-made. They were already big stars. But the reason they put them with Bobby is because they knew Bobby could make them better. Right?
And that's what
they knew.
But I'll put it like this: the quality of the guys that Bobby Brain Heenan had versus Paul Heyman. Give me somebody who can match up with Rick Rude, Mr. Perfect, and Andre. Okay?
Well, you know that Paul also had Rick Rude and made Rick Rude better.
And what I'm saying is always, okay.
So that's a perfect analogy I can give.
And then the brain busters and stuff like
that. No. Hear me out. So you had Bobby had Rick Rude, and Rick Rude was already a star, right? He just made him shinier, right? Paul got Rick Rude in WCW, where he had no credibility there, and he made Rick Rude better. Because if you remember, we're talking about the tail end of the territory days. We're basically got two territories. You got up north in New York with your favorite fuckers, and you got down south in my favorite fuckers, right? So I know you can sit there and run your Boston hat all day long, but you love to suck the tit of New York City. So you had everything going with Vince and his dope, WWF up there with fucking ravishing Rick Rude, who never got a chance. The highest he made it up there was the Intercontinental title, which is a fucking crying shame. You take him back down south to arguably a better fucking program, because you're going to sit there, you're not going to argue with me that Jim Crockett Promotions and WCW in the 80s did not have a better product. It absolutely did. Jim Crockett Promotions in the 80s. That's right. You better suck that tit. That's what you're doing, motherfucker. Jim Crockett in the 80s had Ravishing Rick Rude as their world heavyweight champion, who had battling against Surfer Sting, making kids cry. The matches that Rick Rude had with fucking Ricky the Dragon Steamboat in WCW, I would put up against just about anything, even nowadays, because Rick Rude as a heel was so great, and fucking Steamboat.
Was he a baby face? He was never a baby face.
But listen to me, as a heel, just a genuine heel, he was pure. Just like the counter to that was Ricky the Dragon Steamboat as a babyface taking on Rick Rude. And who was there? And who was always there fucking being the guy who was Rick Rude's fucking mouthpiece? He was a Dangerous Alliance.
Paul.
So now was
that when he was walking around with that god-awful size cell phone?
Yes, the fucking Gordon Gekko.
Oh my God.
What I'm saying is, yes, Bobby is amazing. I'm never going to knock Bobby. I love Bobby the Brain Heyman. I will at least once a year go back and watch the documentary and that's one thing WWE does great, and that's documentaries. They know how to get their point across, and even if it's fucking brainwashing and whatever, they know exactly.
I just want to bring up one thing. So the other night, I was actually watching the downfall of the Legion of Doom.
I've never seen that.
Oh my good Lord.
I watched the documentary on the Legion of Doom and what happened.
Yeah, the way Hawk was just all over the place when it came to the drugs.
Yeah, but then the Hawk also at the end got better. Like he went okay, so when he passed away, he went over there, he cleaned out his garage, and then after he was done cleaning his garage, I think his wife found him, and Animal was talking about it, and he said, it's like he knew his time was up. He was in a good place. He was sober. He was all these things. And he had to do that one last thing for his wife before he passed away. And it was sad to hear it, like the way he was talking about it. But I don't like the way they try to make Hawk out to be like he was a fucking junkie. That really bugs the crap out of me, because that's a guy who conquered his demons. He should be praised for that. He should be praised as someone who's been through some of that shit. He should be praised as someone who beat those demons, where so many people can't.
Well, he didn't have DDP.
He didn't.
He didn't have DDP, and and so they can go back to the other thing to where, with Bobby and stuff like that, and Paul, Bobby only had 3 or 4 writers, where Paul has a
now.
Yeah.
But they grew. Okay. Think about this. Their stories mirror each other so much. And I don't know if you realize that. When Bobby was in the AWA, right? You had Paul over there basically being a cameraman and kind of working in Studio 54 and whatever. And then you have Bobby leaving to go to the WWF, whatever. And then you have fucking Paul, who goes over to the AWA. Paul was always following Bobby's career, without, maybe not intentionally, but he was following it, and then he was elevating himself. Paul, everywhere that Bobby had been, Paul was there.
I just, like I said, when it comes to it and stuff like that, the errors, like I said, the Russell era versus the Jordan era, the Bobby Heenan versus the Paul Heyman era. You're going to have that debate. But for Paul Heyman to come out and say himself, I think I blew past everything Bobby, he's like, wait a minute, Paul. Maybe when it comes to in ring.
And I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but you have to
when it comes
understand.
to the commentary part of it, I think more people remember Bobby Heenan on commentary than they ever remember Paul Heyman on commentary.
And that's one aspect of it, but you can't sit there and completely disavow the body of work that Paul had done in commentary.
I'm saying is, does the body of work Bobby did on the mic and what he did with the wrestlers at least make it an even squash with what Paul did with his wrestlers?
Okay. So let's make it an even squash on the commentary. Okay, let's make it an even squash. But you're not going to deny that Paul Heyman, in every other category, if we're going down and we're comparing,
I'm not saying an even squash on the commentary. I'm saying where he excelled. I think me and you will both agree. Paul Heyman could not hold the candle to Bobby Heenan on the commentary part of it.
And I agree, but I also disagree because
I'm saying
Paul,
on the other end, Paul got luckier with the talent pool he had versus Bobby. And now, mind you,
Paul's length create that.
Hey, Paul's length that he's been working in the business versus what Bobby's length was.
Okay, so you're arguing that. You're arguing that. But listen to me what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Paul was not given diamonds. He had to make diamonds. Bobby was given the cream of the crop. Bobby was given the Andres, the Hakus, the Tully Blanchards, the Arn Andersons, the Kurt Hennings.
And why was he giving them? But why was he giving them no?
Because they knew that he would take their investments and make them better. And he would take those diamonds and make them shinier. That's what Bobby did. Now, Paul Heyman,
but remind you, and Bobby looked the part. He looked the part of that guy, though. And
I get what you're saying.
Bobby Heenan say, you would hear him tell you that too. You want to run with me? I'll take you to the mountain. You don't want to go with me? I'll put you into the ground. Basically.
And I get what you're saying there, but then now turn around. Paul was given stunning Steve Austin, made him up to a main event player. In WCW.
Okay, all right.
Listen, in WCW,
at the Heavenly
stunning Steve Austin was the United States champion. And what did Paul always call it? The United States Heavyweight Championship, because he put emphasis on the fact that this was a main event player. He took fucking Ravishing Rick Rude, who, let's be honest, Ravishing Rick Rude was only allowed to make it to the mid card in WWE, WWF, because he only got up to the Intercontinental belt. They never gave him the opportunity to run with the big belt. He went to WCW. Paul Heyman made fucking Rick Rude a main eventer. He took people like Medusa. He gave Larry Zbyszko another run. All these guys, he took Arn Anderson. He ran the Dangerous Alliance.
You're going to tell me that the storyline with Rick Rude had with Ultimate Warrior and Jake the Snake and stuff like that with the Intercontinental title. Oh, and the Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich.
Yeah.
You're going to say Rick Rude didn't put those over?
No, I'm not saying that Rick Rude didn't have the ability, but in WWF at the time, did Rick Rude ever sniff at the world title?
He fought Hogan.
Did he? But no. What I'm saying, was he ever made to be believable that he was a threat?
Yeah, because of the way he carried.
Okay, to you maybe, but what I'm talking about is, did Rick Rude? I love Jake Roberts. You know this. This is not a knock at Jake Roberts. I love Jake Roberts. Jake Roberts never got the belt. And no matter what, and this is one of those things that I'll agree with CM Punk. It's all right to be, you can tell me I'm in the main event all day long doesn't mean I'm in the last fucking match of the card. Jake the Snake Roberts was never going to get the world title. Whether it be from his own personal demons or not, he was never going to get the world fucking title.
Did Scott Hall deserve the world title?
I think Scott Hall, as Razor Ramon, if they would have brought him in as the fucking the Italian Stallion or what the fuck he was rolling all in there, and they would have treated him like more than just a gimmick? Absolutely. He had the in-ring credibility. The motherfucker could go and he could talk on the mic. He had every intangible, but they refused. Like, I think, you know what? Honestly, I think he left before he was given a true shot.
Because I'll tell you, I'm going to put you like this. In my mind, when I saw Scott Hall come out as Razor Ramon, the way he did that program and stuff like that, does it not? First of all, it came across as Tony Montana. But it almost came across to me as a Spanish Ted DiBiase. Mind you, when
I didn't know that. Hold on, John made some points. Vince knew Rude had a drug problem. I didn't know that Rude had a drug problem. I really didn't. I thought that he just, I don't know what it was. I just, what blew my mind about Rick Rude is that he could talk. He had the body. He was incredible. Rick Rude will go down in my history for me as one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He's absolutely in my top 10 of history. Everything about Rick Rude screamed fucking money to me. And as I've gotten older, and I call it.
Hey, we've said it about other athletes. Let's just say this about Rick Rude.
Well, then tell me this. Why did fucking Kurt Hennig not get the belt?
Wait a minute. If you could build an athlete, we say Randy Orton. Rick Rude was another one. You could mantra right after Rick Rude. If you could build a perfect look of a professional wrestler, Rick Rude could be a perfect look of a professional wrestler. And here's the thing: when it came to perfect, he did wrestle Hogan. The only reason why he didn't get the world title, he made that Intercontinental title so he put that up there so good. How do you?
And that's great. Okay, but Gerard, that's great that you can tell me that second place is great. But tell me right now, and your heart of hearts, right? You're a wrestler. Okay, you're a wrestler. You do this for a living. You feel in your bones you live for the joy of entertaining these thousands upon thousands of people.
More than Hogan.
No, hear me out.
At a time, unfortunately,
I understand what you're saying, but hear me what I'm saying. Okay, you do this for a living, right? Just like anything you do, and you and I are the same way. If you're going to do something, you're going to be the best at it, right? You have. That is your goal, to be the best at it. That's what you do, right?
Yeah.
You can be the best. So if you're fucking Kurt Hennig, if you're Rick Rude, if you're fucking Rowdy Roddy Piper, is your legacy complete without at least one world championship?
Here's a question for you. Okay, now I'm going to just counter that with this. If the paycheck is the same. Now, okay. No, hear me out.
I can actually argue that. In my position, there are levels. You start at the bottom, you can move up to a corporal, you can move to a sergeant, and you can move to a lieutenant. Okay? I made it to those 3 chevrons. I made it to the sergeant's position. And then through fucking some chicanery, they changed it up to where my position was now equivalent to the corporal. It had nothing to do with money. And I've argued this to my higher ups. That one fucking bar, that 3rd bar on my sleeve, meant more to me than fucking money. It had nothing to do with money. It was the right to carry that load and know that I made that. I earned that spot. I worked my ass off for 20 years in a company to be the man.
Okay, so
now I equate that to wrestling. You got the Intercontinental belt. You got the Workhorses title. Great. That's fucking awesome. I'm proud of you for getting that. But you don't believe in me enough that I can carry the big belt, that I at least deserve the opportunity to carry the big belt one time to show that I'm worthy of it.
Okay, so now let's look at it like this. And this is shits and giggles. We're going to give you the 20 grand more per year that guy gets the badge, that he gets that extra bar. But we're going to give you 20 grand more, but we're not going to give you the bar. Well, if that's the case, okay. Well, these guys, you guys know we're going to put you here. But we can't make you here because, unfortunately, this guy makes us so much freaking money. It's not the fact that we don't believe you can.
So I'm going to bring it full circle.
What do we do with Hogan at that point? What do we do with Hogan?
Hold on. Oh, you mean the guy that took months off at a time because, I got to take my vacation, brother. Hold on. We're going back to Sami Zayn. You don't think that Sami Zayn deserves the big belt one fucking time?
Right now, no.
Okay.
3 years ago, maybe.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. The WWF, WWE now is fucking guilty.
Do you think Ricky Steamboat deserved to hold it for 2 months?
You mean Ricky never held the big belt in
do you think
WWF?
he deserved to hold that he chased that Intercontinental title for almost a year, and when he won it, he held it for 2 months.
Okay, and that's wrong. I'm not saying it's right, but where did he go?
Who decided that?
Who?
Ricky.
Your boy. But no, hear me out.
He went to Vince and said, I need time. I'm having because of his family and stuff like that. When Vince had just put the title on him.
Okay. So you're telling me his family couldn't come first?
Go to him and say, I'm about to have a family, so the decision you're going to make on me, do me a favor. Don't make it yet.
Well, that's the same argument with Becky Lynch, right? And all the women wrestlers, you guys worry about them putting the belts on these chicks, and then they go off and have a baby. It's the same.
Yeah, fucking Gerard, you dick.
No, I'm just saying too is if you know quality of life issues are going to come, just go to the company and say,
he did it. How the fuck are you going to say he knew that that was going to happen?
I'm saying is when you know you're going to have a kid. His kid was born a week after he won the title. I think it was something like that.
You're such an asshole.
You know the kid. You know the
kid.
Okay.
So wait. So he's supposed to be like fucking Flair and end up like Flair, fucking alienated from his kids, and his fucking kids hate his guts, and now he's basically a fucking rotting shell of himself now, old, bitter, and pissed off, telling people to never get married.
You go to go to Vince and say, listen, I know you want to put the title on me in WrestleMania, but I just want to give you the heads up. My wife's due with a baby, and I'm going to want to take time off for that.
So then that becomes the Vince issue. That becomes Vince being a piece of shit.
No, listen, that becomes the thing to say, okay, Ricky, let me get creative on my finish and stuff like that, and I'll get back to you. Let me just get creative with it.
But you also know that
never get that spot again, though. What if he knew if Vince didn't give it to him, then he'd never get it?
Guess what? Ricky came back a couple years later as the Dragon. So I mean, so instead of manning up about
how does Gerard's accent so fucked up that he adds an extra ER to later?
What?
Later. That's how that sounded.
Later. Well, if somebody wasn't behind a paywall over there.
Yeah, there you go, John. Just put the belt on fucking Gerard. He'll have a grudge match with fucking Sid Justice. Hold on, we didn't talk about that. He'll have a grudge match with fucking Psycho Sid Justice, who's going in the Hall of Fame this year, by the way.
Thank God he's only going in for his in-ring work. Nope. Sorry, not.
We need to talk about that, by the way.
What?
Hall of Fame.
What about it?
They're all very upset that Stephanie's going in before China. There's a lot.
You know what? Damn right so.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
Joni deserves better, but again, this is the same. Look, let's call it. I'm not here to defend anybody.
If there was a physical wing in the Hall of Fame, she should be the face of the Women's Hall of Fame. And I don't care about my Fabulous Moolah and stuff like that.
Fuck Fabulous Moolah. No. Okay. Okay, so you know how they had the WrestleMania, the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, right? And they were, let's do the Fabulous Moolah version. Fuck that! It should have been the Joni Lawler fucking version. It should have been something.
No. Listen, she did more to change the business than any other woman.
We would not have Bianca. We would not have Jade. We would not have fucking Rhea.
We wouldn't have Rhea.
Think about it. Before her, we had women like Medusa. We had women like Sherry Martel. We had women like the Rockin' Robin and stuff like that.
Miss Elizabeth.
But China made it cool to be a woman with muscle. You didn't need to be a Barbie doll to be in the ring. And you know what? She basically said, hey, I don't look like these. It's okay not to look like these.
So, John, and you'll appreciate this. This is why I love Sabu's stance. You're not going to put me in your fucking Hall of Fame because it ain't worth shit.
If they built a physical one finally, if they built a physical one finally and actually let fans go into it and actually appreciate it and actually get to see what these guys have done and put the stories out there.
No, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I will say, and I'm not here to fucking argue semantics, Stephanie has done amazing work to further women's wrestling. Do I think she was the start of it? Fuck no. Do I absolutely believe that AJ Lee, Paige, and Emma were the birth of the women's revolution, going back to the NXT matches they had and going back to just anything that fucking AJ Lee did back then? She was, I know I'm very hard on her now about her in-ring style, just like I am with Punk, but she was a shark in a pond full of fucking butterflies. I'm sorry. It was that butterfly belt bullshit. It just... I don't understand. You cannot, as much as you want to try, you will never fucking whitewash the name of Joni Lawler. She is amazing. She was amazing, and she deserved everything.
So would you be okay though? You get the men's Honor the Giant Battle Royal if they turn it into the China Battle Royal?
I think at this point it would be a slap in the face. I think it's too little, too late.
So what could be a fitting tribute to her? Would it be her picture on the women's Intercontinental title?
No, I think a fitting tribute would be fucking Paul Levesque to come out and apologize openly and say, I'm sorry for the things I did.
No, listen, I'm going to tell you like that. Listen, let's just put that out there, and I hope you understand me when I say this. Relationships come and go.
I get that, but
because I'm
going to get frustrated about this. I'm going to get frustrated.
Relationships come and go. There's people who every day take advantage of a situation they're in and let their relationship go.
It has nothing to do with that, Gerard. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the fact that, yes, a man had a relationship with a woman. Yes, look, let's just say what it is. If he cheated on her, hold on. I listened. Now hear me out. If he cheated, if he didn't cheat, I don't give a fuck. That's between him and her. What I'm upset about is that a woman's father whitewashed and continued to whitewash the fucking achievements of one of the greatest female, one of the greatest just performers, point blank, period. One of the greatest performers of all time, who was able to hold a candle with men and women. She is a trailblazer. She is the same level of fucking Medusa, if not higher. She's the same level of fucking Bull Nakano. She's the same level of fucking as and I'll say Mae Young, because of fuck Moolah. And then when you have the old man out of the way, you can't fucking swallow your pride enough to say, you know what? Let's do right by her. Whatever our personal issues were, whatever happened between us and Stephanie and whatever, I'm going to be and do the right thing and praise this person who I knew in real life, who, yes, she had a pretty rough ending to her life. And, the excuse that, we didn't put her in the Hall of Fame because if they look her up and they see some of the things she's done in her past, I don't want my kids to look that up or your kids to... Fuck that, dude. The fact of the matter is...
Hey, Levesque, your screen name used to be Terrorizing. If that's not more embarrassing than the other stuff, please.
What I'm saying is, to use that as a crutch on that is wrong, because you can't take away what she did. If you'll put someone like fucking Sunny in the fucking Hall of Fame, and you're not going to put her, you put her in with DX, and you thought that was going to be enough. Well, it's not. Well, because her career was more than just fucking DX. She was the ninth wonder of the world. She inspired a group of women to be more.
First woman to ever win a man's title.
I know we joke about AEW, but this is an opportunity for them to make it. I think that's who has to make it right. You have to have an outside party not related to WWE, because anything WWE does at this point will be considered pandering and defensive. You have Tony Khan come out and do something, and you have, like they did for Owen, and I think that's how you make it.
I still don't agree with that for Owen,
and for her memory as a whole.
But see, that's what I'm saying. But then you have people like Gerard who go, well, she was never there, so why are they doing it? Because it's the right thing,
because
Gerard.
It crosses territories, it crosses the brand. It's not about the brand; it's about the industry.
Oh no,
Gerard. That's the case.
What I was going to say to you is this: is it a shame that they took personal and made it into business? Absolutely.
They do. But what I'm saying is, Gerard. And how do you feel about Dennis Rodman going in the fucking Hall of Fame?
I think it's a freaking joke.
Yeah, but you know what? On your own rules, Dennis Rodman never wrestled or was never an appearance on fucking WCW or WWE.
I think it's a joke.
Okay, so how did you feel about fucking Vern Gagne going in? all those years ago?
I have no problem with Vern for one reason.
Why?
If it wasn't for him, we don't have the AWA. So he helped. He created a territory which created.
So why does he need to go in the WWE Hall of Fame?
Because they stole 90% of their roster from him.
So you're saying that it was because they stole from him that he deserved to be in their Hall of Fame? That's a slap in the face.
He accepted it, right?
No, I'm saying I agree. I understand what you're saying. I agree with you. Then this is the same thing. If Tony Khan is doing the right thing by somebody, and his wife, his living fucking relevance to this world, is saying, yes, my husband deserves to be remembered. You know what? You want to make his whole fucking legacy about a tournament, the Owen Hart Cup? Absolutely.
Listen, I look at it like this, okay? When it comes to her, specifically talking about China Joni, could they be a separate thing? Listen, I don't care if it's something in NXT.
That's pandering.
No. To where
they've waited, the moment has passed, Gerard.
You know what? And let me finish. And you have that guy come out and acknowledge it. It's long overdue. We apologize, and I myself personally, and this is a personal thing for me. It's long overdue. It should have never taken this long. I'm apologizing to the fans for taking this long. But we're going to try and correct the wrong. Okay?
If it's me, and look, I'm putting myself in the shoes of someone who's actually her family or someone who's her friend, I would say it's too far, too long. And I'd say the same thing about Miss Elizabeth. I say the same thing. They had an opportunity with all this shit with Vince to do the right thing by Ashley. Ashley should deserve to be in there for the fucking. She was, again, if you look at Ashley and in the short amount of time, how much she influenced and how much she got eyes on the product because she was counterculture and she was everything that they had never done. Even if you want to put it as a fucking sentimental spot, you could have done that after everything that came out. You could have put her there, but they didn't. So I'm sorry. It may be a new coat of paint, but it's the same fucking old tired fucking.
Oh, listen, you can put lipstick on a pig, and at the end of the day, what is it?
And so what I'm saying is, and this is not a knock at anybody in particular. It's the whole fucking thing. Yeah, fucking Pedro Morales. They put in the Hall of Fame is not about merit, Gerard. The Hall of Fame is about who you like most. And we go back, and I try to
listen, I'm not disagreeing on that. I'm just saying to you like this.
I'm going to put it like this, and I always try to be nice about it because if I had a chance to put my wife in the Hall of Fame, I would have done it. But Michelle McCool over fucking Miss Elizabeth, over China, over fucking Victoria, over Mickey James, over any of the women I just named has no business being in that Hall of Fame.
Here's one for you, and you can tell me your feelings on this. Demolition's going in this year, right? How many years did Axe have an actual axe with WWE to where all of a sudden now they're taking the cash and going in?
They're not putting Crush in there though.
No. Listen, and I'll say this right now, and I'll say it again. I don't care how many times you want to say it. I do not think Brian was worth going in there with these two.
He was part of that group.
He's part of the group, but he was not. He was part of the group, okay. But to my mind, he was not part of the group. He only came in to take over because Bill was leaving, because the lawsuit was going on. He wasn't going to be around. Okay.
So he stayed, and he did the Kakuna Crush character. He stayed and did the Nation of Domination. He stayed and did the fucking Disciples of the Apocalypse. He went on to WCW and was in Chronic. He did all these things, and you're going to tell me that this man who put all of his life into this and did all the gimmicks and all the bullshit that they wanted him to do, he got fucking made to be a joke by Doink the Clown over forever.
I don't think as part of Demolition he deserves to go in as part of Demolition. If you want to put him in there by himself, yeah.
They'll never do it.
But I don't think he belongs. Axe and Smash, Demolition, the people that you'd watch come out to the ring and you'd hear that here comes the Axe, here comes the Smasher, the Demolition. Listen, growing up, watching the movie Road Warriors, watching the movie The Beastmaster, and seeing these guys coming out wearing a mask with the spikes on. Listen, it was a mix between Kiss characters and these Road Warriors characters. And what I mean by Road Warriors, like like the movie with Mel Gibson, it was a mix of that. It's like, what is this? This is scary. But by the time questions already come out, it's like, okay, the gimmick is worn off. He didn't enhance the gimmick. If he enhanced the gimmick, that's a different thing. But he didn't enhance it. He did not enhance Demolition.
What I'm saying is the only reason the Demolition's in there is because they've gotten so much hell over the last couple of years. That's the only reason.
Deservedly so, because listen, would you argue that they're still not one of the top 5 teams to ever be? Think about it. Up until the Usos. If the Usos don't break their record, are we even talking about them right now?
No. No, the Usos we're talking about Demolition.
If the Usos don't break the record, we don't talk about Demolition.
No, we don't talk about Demolition at all because they became so irrelevant that they were no different than the fucking.
We don't even hear about the Honky Tonk Man anymore.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We don't hear about it because they became obscure.
Yep.
They became nothing more than a trivia note. That's all they were. Who held the long? Yeah, that's all they became. The issue is the WWE Hall of Fame.
And guys who worked 320 days a year.
What I'm saying is the Hall of Fame, the WWE Hall of Fame, in my personal opinion, because of their decisions, is a joke. You know, with any Hall of Fame, okay, look at the Baseball Hall of Fame, look at the NFL Hall of Fame, look at any other legitimate Hall of Fame.
It's a prideful thing to get in.
You look at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and there's a board of at least 6 people, 5 to 7 people. I'm sorry, 5 to 7 people, and they sit down and they discuss merit, talent, impact on the sport, and longevity.
So for baseball, you have the Baseball Writers of America, right? And in the NFL, it's the guys who've already been in the Hall of Fame. They get to do the vote. So in the WWE, why don't we have it a pure fan vote? Because they always talk about that for the fans. Let's have a pure.
I don't think no, because you can't trust the fans to do it. If they fucking did a repo, man would have made it by himself.
What's wrong with that?
But then you know
the
what?
Gobbledygooker would have been a first ballot Hall of Famer if it was for the fucking fans.
Then you don't have the discussion to where you can say
no. But then you make a board. You make a true board. You take legends of the past, present, and future, and you take those people and you find a true Hall of Fame. Because you make it mean something, but they've already soiled it so much that I don't care if they make a fucking physical one. It doesn't mean shit.
Because in all aspects of professional sports, and I'll give you a perfect example because your home guy, Michael Irvin, as a football player, deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. As a man, does Michael Irvin, what we found out about him, what he was doing during those games, deserve to be in the Hall of Fame?
Talking about the cocaine?
Yeah. Does he deserve to be in it? Maybe not.
To be fair, when he became a Cowboy and Jimmy Johnson put the hammer down and you saw a clean Michael Irvin, yes. Because that's another guy that I can respect who cleaned up his demons.
Lawrence Taylor, LT. Does he deserve to be in the Hall of Fame for the way he played? Absolutely. Now, for what he's done after his career, does he deserve to be taken out of the Hall of Fame?
You shut the fuck up. You're not talking about LT. He gets a pass.
So see what I'm saying is, the hypocritical here.
I always have a soft. I'm sorry. I'll always have a soft spot for LT. I just do.
I was gonna say, were you even born when he was playing?
Man, my dad loves football, so that was hockey and football for my dad. Okay, and Barry Bonds. No, Barry Bonds does not. In my opinion, with him, neither him or fucking McGuire deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. If you're gonna keep fucking Pete Rose out for all that time, if you're gonna fucking keep Pete Rose out.
In every one of the Major League Baseball parks today, what are they sponsored by? DraftKings.
Fucking pricks.
So
now that I can get behind when they did that for This is why it frustrates me about you and fucking AEW doing something for Owen, or maybe if they were to do something for China. This is what frustrates the shit out of me, because they did the right thing for Pete Rose. WWE did. Putting Pete Rose in their Hall of Fame was the right thing, because he was like, look, he got fucked for some bullshit. And they put him in their Hall of Fame.
And I will say this, Not only did they put him in the Hall of Fame, the skits that they had him do at WrestleMania were funny.
The chicken? The fucking chicken? The fucking chicken? Really?
Stuff, like I'm saying, the stuff with Kane and stuff like that, they were funny.
The San Diego chicken?
They were entertaining. I'm not saying just a chicken, okay? Basically,
how about it?
Basically, what they were doing, they were basically telling Major League Baseball, up yours. Basically what they were doing.
And so you have a problem. Again, this is the thing that you and I will butt heads about. And I think if it wasn't for the fact that AEW is an upstart, because you are, let's just call it like it is. You are a company man. You will always be a company man. I don't hate you for that. I don't fucking fault you for that. You are. And I wish that more people, stop before you start making your fucking faces. If the Boston Red Sox say that the grass is green and the sky is yellow, you're going to believe it, because you're a Boston guy till you die.
No, wait a minute. Hold
on. If the fucking Patriots, if they were found cheating, I'm not saying they are, but I'm saying if they were found cheating, if they did this, you're going to support them because you're a company guy.
Win if you can, lose if you must.
What I'm saying is, you're a loyal guy and you work for a company and you are loyal to the people that brought you to the show. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, I'll say this. One of your closest friends of all time, the guy who does the fucking commentary for the beginning of the show every day and the ending of the show, the great and one of the goats of all time fucking ring announcing, Tony Chimmel. Hey, Tony, hope you're doing well. He decided to take a chance because the company that he worked for dropped him like a bad habit over some bullshit in COVID. He went to AEW and he works there. And he does an amazing job doing what he does. Why can't you give that company a chance to do something right?
Well, I look at it like this. They've had chances to do something right. And like, put it this way. The thing with the Owen Hart tournament, I think it's good concept. I think it's in the wrong company. Okay, let's say it like it is.
But that's because they okay.
That's because of the wife. That's because the wife doesn't.
No. Okay, so tell me this: we're both married. Okay, so say same thing happens.
Mm-hmm.
You're coming down, your big ass, my big ass is up there. We fall and we fucking die in the ring. Is your wife gonna let that company market and make money with your name? Now, before you answer that, my wife is here. Wife, if that shit happened to me in WWE, my big ass was the bloated blazer, and my bloated fat ass fell out and 600 feet or whatever, hit the fucking ring, blood still in the ring, and they allowed it to happen. They wrestled basically where my corpse was. Would you allow these fuckers to still profit off my name?
Nope. Well, heck.
No. Back to you, Gerard. Would your wife allow them to profit off your name?
She allowed to profit off my name now. What are you talking about?
Now, let me ask you this, wife. Let me ask you this. Now, an upstart company comes up and they say, look, Miss Rebellion, we know that your husband never wrestled for us, but your husband is a legend and he deserves his proper acknowledgement of that. We'd like to have a tournament in his name. We're going to put a belt as as a trophy, and we're going to sell merch on it if you're okay with it, and all that merch is going to go to the family, to your family. Are you okay with that? Do you accept that?
Absolutely.
What do you say?
Without question. Because I'm also a petty bitch. So not only do I want your legacy to live on and everything you contributed, but I want to fuck the other company too. Two birds.
I bet you love Sammy Sosa, or I bet you love fucking Jose Canseco too, don't you, Leland?
Oh, listen, okay. Let me put in his mind. Anybody who ever has an inclination of something wrong is guilty. Okay, and that's just the way he is. You'd have to walk on fire, walk on water, just to prove to him that you're innocent of something. Because if you got accused of it, you're guilty. He believes
to be fair, other than his blind love for the Patriots, I love me some Leland. All right, I love Leland and this motherfucker because he keeps you in check.
Well, like I said though, he is the epitome of the guy who don't ever get her busted and have to have him sit on a jury because you're guilty. You're guilty. You got to prove your freaking innocence with him. Never mind.
I get, and Leland, I give Sam Masosa a pass because he came down to play for my Texas Rangers back in the day, and we went to a game. He was really nice to us. He waved at us when we were in the fucking, like we were the only people. It was like fucking. It was a. I don't know what game it was.
This is before Texas had any fans. I'm guessing.
Yeah, basically, but he waved at us.
You can buy a ticket up.
This is before the Cliff Lees and our only fucking World Series.
Wait,
Shut the fuck up.
What was it? What was the name of that pitcher? The wild Mitch Williams.
So, but what I'll say is this, and going back to the Hall of Fame talk, I don't care if WWE builds a fucking standalone, legitimate Hall of Fame. They have done too much to delegitimize themselves as being a legitimate Hall of Fame. But the lack of, again, let's step away from Joni for a second, right? Let's just step away from Joni. Miss Elizabeth. Miss Elizabeth was.
Hold on. Well, first of all, we can't blame one company for her downfall. Can't do that.
I'm not saying that. Miss Elizabeth, not even being immortalized or anything like that. As far
does she have any living family to do it for, though?
Okay, but that's not what I'm talking about. They haven't even done the Miss Elizabeth Award. They haven't done anything to make her relevant as far as saying she was the first lady of wrestling. Because she was. Gerard, let's say, look, I know you love Sherry. Hell, I love Sherry Martel.
Listen. SummerSlam 88. When Liz took off that dress, I was 15 years old. when Miss Elizabeth jumped over that rail and got into a scrap with Sherry Martel at WrestleMania 7, and I was watching it.
And you cried just like the rest of us did.
I was crying.
Don't fucking lie, you big fucking baby.
No,
we all cried.
I wasn't crying. There's no crying. There's no crying in wrestling.
And she hugged Macho Man.
Yep.
And then, right after that, Elizabeth, will you marry me?
Not in the same building. It was a couple months later.
I know what I'm saying. Later on. And she said, oh, yeah. And his eyes bugged out. He was like, oh.
I was there for that, too.
And you're going to tell me that woman does not deserve to be remembered as one of the first ladies of professional.
No, not one of the first ladies.
The first lady.
Okay, the first lady.
And you're talking about a company who hasn't done fuck all for her memory.
And you know what the sad part is? They put in somebody who caused her death.
I think. Hold on, hear me out.
No, I don't even want to say the name.
I know, but I'm going to say this. He's
paid for that a million times over.
If you don't believe in God, there's the perfect fucking lesson right there. That's a reason to believe in God.
Listen, he got his just desserts for it. If how the movie The Green Mile, where he says, "I'm 108 years old, and my sin is that I'm 108 years old because I allowed this guy to die, and I didn't tell anybody, and I should have saved him."
Yep.
Lex Luger is being allowed to live to deal with the death that he caused.
Allegedly. Let's say allegedly.
There's no doubt in my mind, if it's not for that man, that woman's still alive today. Well, maybe she dies or live. Maybe she'd still be dead, but she dies a different way.
Well, I think that there's a lot of influence there. And I think that she lived, we've talked about it before, and I said it on a video, and Trips can tell you, I was very adamant about that. Maybe, all this stuff about Macho Man being this overbearing husband, and maybe he was trying to protect her. I believe that.
Maybe he saw something nobody else ever saw.
Mm-hmm.
And, protecting oneself from oneself, it can be a blessing and a curse.
I think that Macho,
like I've said to you before, and I'll say it again. For all the heat that everybody used to give him, if you did him right in his eyes and his wife's eyes, you got his respect if you did him right. But in his eyes, you had to go way above and beyond to get to that point, because in his mind, everybody was trying to screw with his wife.
But no, hear me out. Hear me out. I don't think he thought everybody, because I believe there was a young man who he walked up to and said, "You need you to go pick up Elizabeth."
No, like I just said, to get to that point, you had to do something special.
And I need you to also understand, weren't they? Isn't everybody trying to get a piece of Elizabeth? Let's be honest.
Don't know. I never saw it. I never witnessed it. But on the other hand, she was hidden. She put it this way, she was like a crown jewel. Only come out and rub every once a month or something like that, but then go right back into the display case. That's what it felt like sometimes.
Okay, but wasn't she worth that? When you saw Elizabeth, it was a big deal, right?
She probably one of the most beautiful women I've ever met in my life.
And he treated her like a queen.
Yeah, she probably got treated the way every woman wants to be treated on one aspect, without the smothering on the other end.
And I get that.
Unfortunately, the old word chivalry, that's been dead a long time ago.
Let me say this. You don't know what you have until you lose it. And if you notice, once they're separated, she went down a path.
Yep.
He was. I am of the belief that Randy Macho Man Poffo was trying to protect the most important person in his life to the best of his ability.
Well,
and when he finally got to a point where he could no longer do that,
is Stephanie what's her? I can't remember her last name. Gorgeous George. She's still alive,
yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And how old? What was she, like 22 years old?
Yep.
And she broke it off with him rather quickly. They weren't together that long.
Yeah.
Did she see what he was doing? Did he have the same thing with her that he had with Liz?
Well, when they broke up, she even said they broke up amicably. Like, she's even talked about it. She loves him. She will always love him, and he was good to her.
And that
may have been a case where she knew she couldn't compete with the memory of Elizabeth. Like, how do you fill that spot?
Well, the only person that can compete with Elizabeth was, remember, when he passed away, he was married to his former high school sweetheart.
Yep. Hey,
and that was.
Think about it. The only person that could ever compete with Elizabeth was Elizabeth. Mm-hmm. So that was it. That was the only person who could compete with her. To this day.
But again, to go back to what we were discussing, why is she still not in the Hall of Fame?
I think because she has no family members.
But even then, why is there nothing for her? Nothing.
No.
Okay. You love to talk about the greatest big man of all time. You love to talk about Andre the Giant. You love Andre, right?
What?
You've always talked very, very fondly of your experience of meeting Andre, knowing Andre. Andre, held your child. All this wonderful stuff about Andre.
No.
Would you not?
Big Show held my child, not Andre.
Well, would you not say that in the class of being a spectacle, that Elizabeth was the female Andre as far as a spectacle?
No, because no, and I'm going to tell you why. Andre had the intimidation factor, where Liz wasn't intimidating of herself. If you get what I mean by that.
So, but she was royalty. Like, Andre was royalty in the ring. Like, Andre could do anything, and it was Andre.
Yes.
Nobody wanted to hate Andre.
You put it this way, like I said, Liz was like a piece of glass, or the crystal that you might have gone over your relative's house, and it's like, don't go near that table. Just don't go near there.
So when I felt like when I watched wrestling, when you would see her come out, it was almost like the parting of the fucking Red Sea.
Yes.
Because everybody, like, oh my God, it's Elizabeth. Wow. Just like when Andre came out, oh, you better get the fuck out of the way. It's fucking Andre.
The only difference was you needed a lot more space for one of them to come out than the other one.
But what I'm saying is,
Elizabeth. But the funny part is, you needed more space for Liz than you needed for Andre.
What I'm saying is,
you weren't allowed to touch Liz.
What I'm saying is, okay, but we've talked about Andre. There's statues of Andre. There's all this stuff with Andre. Why is there nothing for Liz? Case in point.
Just like there's nothing for China.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Why is there nothing for China? So now let's fast forward that. Now we've had this discussion, how special these people are, how important these people are to the history of wrestling, how you and I, even in the slightest forms, were fucking molded by these people, these women, these powerful women of wrestling, molded our experiences, right?
Yes, right.
Okay, so the Sherry Martells of the world, the Elizabeths, the fucking Joni Law, they molded, these powerful women have molded our lives and our opinions of women and how we treat women. And you're not going to tell me that watching Macho Man with Elizabeth doesn't make you as chivalrous as you are. You talk a lot of shit, but you're still that guy that holds the door open for your wife. You're still that guy that pulls the chair out. You're still the guy that does all that stuff, right?
Yeah, the only problem is I pull the chair out too far.
But what I'm saying is you're still a chivalrous guy, and it's because of the lessons you learned in wrestling from your fucking mentors, like a Macho Man, like the way they treated these women in their life. So if a company that does not have a WWE in it is saying, okay, y'all have had plenty of time to rectify this and make it right, you're not. So we're going to for you.
Put it this way, if they did it in a proper fashion to where it wasn't a dig, but it was like, to me, the Owen Hart thing was a dig. Okay, let's just say it like it was a dig.
And okay, so then now we're getting somewhere.
Maybe it was Martha's dig, and Martha has the right to fuck them.
Okay. In Elizabeth, in the thing of Elizabeth,
but Leland, do you feel that's enough? Do you feel that's enough for the impact that Joni made?
No, I'll tell you right now, he doesn't feel that way. And put it this way, she was mentioned.
Don't you speak?
No,
for Leland Patterson.
She was mentioned.
Don't you dare speak.
She was
for Leland Patterson.
No, she was mentioned.
She was a footnote.
She was a footnote, correct. But this way, when was the last time we even heard about Elizabeth? I think somebody name dropped her the other night. And she doesn't get the recognition she deserves. Unfortunately, one person who's in jail gets more recognition sometimes than Elizabeth.
Yeah, because she killed a motherfucker with a car.
Right. Think about it. The person who kills somebody gets more recognition than the woman who actually made it okay to be a female.
Wait, Leland, so you don't think the one Billy Gunn's ever going to be inducted to the Hall of Fame for the great run he had as Billy and Chuck? I'm just fucking with you, Leland. But no, you're right, and I have no problem, Gerard. I have no problem with people. Okay, even more so, fucking Paul Heyman kicked a guy out of a show when they did a salute to Eddie Guerrero, and some piece of shit decided that he was going to mock Eddie Guerrero. They kicked him the fuck out. Eddie had issues. Eddie wasn't perfect, but Eddie was immortalized and recognized for the contributions that he gave to the business.
And that's why, we have that discussion a lot of times. Should what goes on in the ring, should what only goes on in the ring be what is accounted for in the Hall
to some regard? Yes. Now
that's like saying, then how do you can't put Benoit in? Like there has to be a line.
That's what I'm gonna say, because we, like he was talking about a little while ago, the steroid era, we can compare it to the steroid era in baseball. There's a lot of guys in the steroid era that does not belong in the Hall of Fame just because they were associated with it. And I'm not talking about a one-time flunking of a
no, I'm with you, but that's why someone like, I'm like you, look, I love Ken Kennedy. I don't think that he did enough in wrestling to ever be inducted. But because he was caught up in the steroid thing, there's something to be said about that. Let
me ask you this: do we go back and take Ted DiBiase out of it because of what he was caught involved in? He was found not guilty. Shut the fuck up. He was found not guilty, but should the father be taken out because of he might have been involved?
He was found not guilty as well. He wasn't even put it. Don't you put Ted DiBiase on that?
I'm just saying is like the other one.
Gerard, you're forgetting. Everyone has a price. You shut your mouth.
I'm only going because I can go right now because
everyone's going to pay, Gerard.
I bring it up last week about this Cesar Chavez or whatever. I can't remember his name. I mean, say his name properly, but the Chavez guy out there in California, who has all these allegations right now, and they're changing everything about these allegations, and nothing.
That's California. You can't fucking work on the mind of California folks. They're just fucking nuts.
Another one that we don't talk about, and I honestly wish we could know one way or the other. Terry Taylor. Does Terry Taylor deserve to be in? Absolutely. Just not as the Red Rooster.
Okay, so this is a weird one for me. And the reason I say that is I'm sure that, I don't think he did anything. What did he do? I mean, yeah, he was a wrestler. Yeah, he was a trainer. Yeah, he did some fucking backstage shit. But he also pissed a lot of people off.
Okay, then let's go with Regal then. The Regal and Taylor both deserve.
Regal, 100%. Regal, again, we go back to he is my generation's fucking Roddy Piper. He did, for every fucking reason, he deserved to be the world champion. He had his own personal issues, and I get it, but they have a chance to fix it, and I don't know if they ever will with his son.
It's a matter of the issues just being something that affects themselves. So if they've got demons, it only affect their life.
And
that should not impact what they do.
No, you know what? You're right. You know what? You know what? I'm going to concede to something. Benoit, no. Until Benoit can actually it can be proven that Benoit didn't do the horrible. Because look, I watched a lot of conspiracy shit, and there's some very, very convincing shit to say that Benoit, the whole Benoit thing, is not what it seems. Whatever.
OJ didn't pull the trigger.
What I'm saying is, until we know for sure what happened with Benoit, no, he does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame because you don't get to take lives like that. Paul Heyman said it himself. 3 people died that way. Only one of them had a choice.
Yep.
And until I know otherwise, until it's proven, then and I say this with all due respect, fuck Benoit. Okay. Other side of that coin, Eddie Guerrero, yes, he had a steroid addiction. Yes, he'd done drugs in his life. There's also speculation about that. He deserved every 100% to be in the Hall of Fame. He battled his demons. He beat his demons, what have you. But yes,
he did succumb to his demons, though.
Eventually, there was wear and tear after what he had done. He
succumbed to his
yes.
demons.
He beat them, but the damage was done. Yep. But now, that being said, you look at someone like the Dynamite Kid, who was notorious for domestic violence. Do I think that someone like that is someone you want representing your Hall of Fame? No, I don't. You look at someone like Elizabeth, and it does get at me. She passed away tragically because of
way too young.
Yes, but her issues were with herself. She destroyed herself. I don't think that takes away from the body of work that she did.
What she did in her personal life doesn't.
Joni,
hold on, real quickly. Miss Elizabeth, what she did in her personal life, it does not deserve to be taken away from what she did in her professional life. Joni Laura, the same thing. What she did in her personal life does not diminish what she did in the ring.
Harm anybody but themselves.
Now we do this and we talk about this. All right. What I would love to see, they did a movie, and I've not seen the Iron Claw. I know that some people, it's very divisive, and some people like it, some people don't. I hear that MJF did an amazing job at it. Great. What I would love to see, and Trips, tell me if you agree. You do a movie about Elizabeth, or you do a tribute about Elizabeth. You let Tony Storm take that lead role.
I'd watch it.
What about you? Would you be opposed to AJ playing that role?
I don't think that. I like AJ just fine, but I don't think AJ does not. Okay, you've seen Tony Storm.
No, right. I'm just saying is the body and stuff like that.
It's not about the body. It's about the character. I think the person that could get her and really exemplify, because I think if there's anybody,
Macho Man.
Huh?
Who would you have play Macho Man?
MJF. I'm not.
I was just gonna say that actually.
No, actually, I would have made Juice Robinson because that's her actual that's her actual husband, and he does resemble Macho Man quite a bit. It's weird if you look at him. I think that Toni Storm. I think if you were to take Miss Elizabeth and you were to make her into a wrestler, I think it's Toni Storm. I adore Toni Storm. She won me over, and this is a guy. You're talking about a guy and me, and I know we're going over in time. Don't judge me. We went to see AEW live, and I used to refer to her as Tony Pancake Ass Storm because I would say that her butt is an optical illusion and all this stuff, and I would I used to clown on her because I just didn't like Toni Storm. But she won me over, and I know right now she's out for an unknown reason. And I have a speculation thought. I'll talk to you after we get off the air because I don't want to be right about something and then like put that out there in the universe that people are, speculating on shit. I don't want that because I love Toni Storm. But I think if you were to take the spirit of Miss Elizabeth and put it into a wrestler, it is absolutely Toni Storm.
Before we go off the air, one quick question: what do you think about the Boogie Woogie Man getting back into the ring at 83 years old?
Valiant?
Yeah.
Jimmy Valiant's getting back. No, please, God, no. I love Jimmy Valiant. Don't you dare.
I'm not lying to you. Hold on. I'll tell you when. Hold on. He's going to do one more match, okay?
Against Ric Flair?
No, he wrestled his final match, Jimmy Valiant, on Saturday, April 25th, at the NAWA Championship Wrestling in Lancaster, South Carolina.
I thought he was going to say in fucking big time wrestling. I'm like, fucking Gerard, don't you dare. Don't you fucking dare.
Well, so the Boogie Woogie Man will wrestle his last match on April 25th.
He's up there with the fucking rock and roll, man.
So I think just to for the final thought, we talk about the Hall of Fame and personal demons. I think the conversation, it's a deeper conversation for later, is also the fact that some of these people who had these problems, it was created or contributed or nurtured by the fact of the business they were in. So I think there's culpability within the organization. So you can't necessarily hold someone
and written into the storyline.
Well, no, hold on. You know what?
And I wish somebody when you stoke that
okay, flame. So you say that, and I was going to come at Gerard and get in Gerard's ass about something here for that, but I wish we can go longer. But we try to stay.
We can.
Okay, so I do want to have this then. You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, we'll go longer. Gerard, you sat there and you criticized me for saying that I like the fact that they're not running. Take that fucking smile off your face. You criticized me for giving you shit. Shut the fuck up. You're giving you shit about the fact that their schedules are lighter. It is those hard ass schedules that made some of these problems, Gerard. And you know that better than anybody. That recreational drugs, painkillers.
The happy medium. Would you say the happy medium has never been met?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I would gladly live in the world that we live in now, where their schedules are lighter, than you're basically using them as human fucking cattle. You're breaking men down. You're breaking women down.
Did anybody force him into that line of business?
Don't you fucking dare.
Cut.
Tell him. Please tell him. Tell him. Get in his ass.
Nobody forced you to work where you work. Nobody forced me my job. Nobody forced her to her job.
But if they force you to stay in your spot,
hold on, Gerard, shut up. Let her talk.
If they force you in order to, to have this career, because most people are in this business because they love it and don't want to sacrifice their spot. So if they basically did whatever it had to take, or people are purposefully shooting you up full of steroids, shooting you full of painkillers so you can get to that next match, yes, you are being forced. If your livelihood is being held over your head because you don't perform, it is absolutely being forced upon you.
Pal.
Somebody was found not guilty of that, pal.
Yeah, pal.
Yeah, he had other shit going on.
Let me give you one more beefy injection, pal.
If it doesn't fit, you must have quit.
Jesus. I'm not interested in that glove.
Hey, listen. It's almost time for you're going to have to go meet the doctor one day with that glove on.
I got 5 more years. They moved it from 40 to 45. I don't want to hear it.
Dr. Happy. Hey, he had both hands on your shoulder.
We're gonna post a video live on this channel.
Oh. We call it a dipstick.
Jesus.
Oh.
And that's where she cuts it.
All of you Marks have been listening to the Marks Podcast on YouTube.